Hello, and thank you for coming back. My name's Bill Gibbons, and this is my diary. The date's down at the bottom of the screen. There. See, it's there. That's the one. Just make sure I'm actually... Hold on. Yeah, I'm actually getting there. This is just a quick update, really. I slept really well last night. Clean sheets, clean body, almost clean house, and I cut my talons off my feet. It's nice being clean for the first time in a month. I tested the new the new position of the new microphone yesterday. It's more lower down and it's closer to my voice. And it's off camera. It's actually here, just off camera. And I think it sounds a lot clearer than it was when it was in the air. It does need more definition, more closeness. And it's as close as I can without getting it in shot. I ordered some Amazon Fresh at 2 o'clock this morning. I finally came to the conclusion that I shouldn't stop buying food just because I can't get rid of the rubbish. So it was triggered by the fact that I need some more cat food because theirs is running out on Monday or Tuesday, somewhere around there. So instead of them running out, I like to keep a nice supply in. So I've got a box of cat food coming today, and I've got enough delivery near the end of the month from Amazon. I like doing it that way because then I can mix it up a little. Instead of getting the same food all the time, I can buy a different type of food for them so they get a bit more variety. They're not autistic, I am, remember? Well, having said that, I think Merlin may be slightly autistic. In fact, I think he's as autistic as I am, Merlin. He's very set in his ways and he gets angry about change. He's very angry when something changes or something doesn't change. And like I keep saying on these vlogs, Merlin is my boss. If Merlin's upset, I'm upset. If I'm upset, you're upset. Anyway, I've been listening to my records. I listened to some last night, some this morning. The sound is fantastic. So much so, at 2 o'clock this morning, I ordered some more off eBay. Little collections, Engelbert Humperdinck and something else. But as Lita said this morning, I haven't got no Queen. So I may have a look for a new Queen's Greatest Hits from Amazon. About £20-25 I think they are. But that is the record I've always wanted on vinyl. I had Bohemian Rhapsody on vinyl. Threw it all away. But really, I've always wanted Queen's Greatest Hits. Because that's the album I had on CD. I think I had it on cassette as well. Do you remember cassette, boys and girls? Little plastic things with, magnetic tape in the middle. I say all this now, and yet I'm aware there's a whole couple of generations of adults that wouldn't know what a cassette was. You mention VHS to someone and they think you're talking gibberish. What the hell is VHS, they say. Don't to those people mention Betamax or Video 2000. You really are in a hiding to nothing. Oh, I thought it was funny anyway. There was a post on Facebook yesterday about anyone that doesn't, respect God is not worth respecting. And this bloke came in for a slating from across the board. And I put down, I respect those who respect unto myself. Gibbons, 2021. I thought that was funny. And it's true. Why should you respect someone for their beliefs when all it is a belief? You can believe whatever you want. Why do you have to respect them for it? That is confusing. It's a bit like the reverence we give to people of the church. Why? You don't give any more reverence to people in cosplay playing Harry Potter, and yet he's just as magical as this thing. No one can agree on even a name for this thing. So, I respect the tangible, not the abstract. You respect me, I respect you. You treat me like a fool, you get kicked. In a figurative sense, of course. I mean, how can I kick you when I can't leave my flat? I'm not a violent person, as people that grew up with me would testify. Especially, the people that went to school with me. I never got into any fights, apart from twice. And in one of them, I actually got applauded for, after almost breaking this bloke's arm. There was a whole crowd of us, and everyone said, "You had that coming, John, you had that coming." He attacked me. I caught his fist, turned it around. I literally caught his fist, just went like that, caught his fist, turned his arm around, had him behind the back on the floor. Submit. Really? You're going to do it again? No. I was left alone after that. Strange that, isn't it? I don't know what made me do it, but instead of hitting back, I suppose it was like a kendo or karate. Is it kung fu technique where you use the opposing body weight against them? I just thought, well, I know how painful it is myself to have my arm put up my back. Don't ask. Playful brother. So I thought, well, let's see if he likes it. Oh, he didn't. The same happened to Darren Chalkley as well. That was John Hope, and the same happened to Darren Chalkley when he started picking on me. He threw a punch at me. I caught his fist. Had him... He was standing up. I didn't have him on the floor like John Hope. And he was screaming and screaming, let go. And I wouldn't let go until he promised he wouldn't do it again. And he left me alone as well. Oh, I don't know. Touch Portal is a godsend. I can actually start and stop this video without any mouse clicks or any keyboard clicks. It's all done on a spare tablet. Start and stop. And the start... Oops, sorry about that. The start starts recording, and the stop, or the end, puts the end credits up and then stops the recording. It's all automated. 2 presses on a screen. And hopefully the colour is a bit better now. I've changed a few details because I was having trouble outputting the file, because the last one I uploaded for today was actually a test one I'd done this morning, setting the thing up. It hadn't actually created the file of the thing I was creating. So, Amazon delivery between 2 and 4, which would be good. I might have jacket potato this afternoon because I've got frozen ones coming. And I've got some beans in there, which would be perfect. I used some beans yesterday. I've got to stay alive and I've got to stay alert, because these bastards are going to try and catch you off guard. So there's no point sitting here all miserable. I have to force myself to stay alert, because there's going to be a few decisions coming in the next week or two, and I need to be on my game to make sure that this does not happen again to anyone. I'm not a fan of repeating myself, as anyone that worked with me in IT would testify. If anything was repeated, I'd always find a way of doing it automatically. A script, I'd create an executable or something, some way of doing it, so that you could do it right once and then the machine would repeat itself. I mean, I really started big time on that when I was working for Petroleum Argus, redoing all their macros for the report writers, because the bloke that created it, well, let's put it this way, they had the macros written by an outside company, and of course it was all encrypted. Their macros were executables, I think they were, and they were run from within Excel and Word. Of course, you can't decompile an executable very easily. So I had to sit down, because they fucked up and they didn't get the source code. I had to sit down and create it all from scratch using nothing more than Visual Basic, which up until then I'd only used version 4, and created a few word macros in a matter of 2 weeks, because I was doing all the reports myself basically, and without basic macros I was actually getting the reports from the journalists, compiling them, putting the data in, everything. So I created the macros quite quickly and debugged them. You know, I've never written a decent macro. I've recorded them, and that's basically how I taught myself to do the macros for that company. I basically recorded little bits and found out what the code was, and I worked out what what the code was like to do that one thing, and I could modify it and look up, how to do things. And quite frankly, they was using that for years afterwards. I kept an eye on their server, on their output, and I could tell that they were still using my formats. And it was fantastic. That was the first thing to be created, the auto format macros. So they could get the graphs and all the wording and all that formatted right. That saved an awful lot of time. The bit that took a lot of time for that company was actually creating the different upload routines. So I could format that. I had to literally have a look at several examples of the data uploads for 4 different, including Bloomberg's and Reuters, and work out, because I was getting no information from these other companies, I had to work out what their upload standard was. And sometimes it was as quirky as 13 characters and a space, 13 characters and a space, and then 12 characters and no space. I don't know. It was all weird. But I got it done. And they used that routine for years afterwards. And my code was well written. It was documented. It was commented. I commented code to make it easier for me to understand what I was doing. I still do. When I play about with Visual Basic now, yes, I still use Visual Basic. I've written my own calculate routine a few years ago in Visual Basic, and it works the way I like it to work, like you would do if you were doing it on pen and paper. It's not one of these that auto calculates as you go along. It calculates when you press the equals button. So 2 plus 2 plus doesn't do anything. You don't get a 4. It will do 2 plus 2 plus 3 equals, and then you get whatever. 7? I don't know. Anyway, chore for today. Mop the floors. I'll be next on the list. Have a chill with some YouTube and maybe some video. Maybe some more music this afternoon. And I might update you tonight on how things are. Thank you for watching. My first effort at this was 5 minutes. And I did wonder why it uploaded so quick. It was like before I'd got to the finished creates, where you put the playlists in YouTube. It uploaded and I couldn't understand that. It was a 15-second video. That's why it uploaded so quick. This should be normal. And going by what I can see in front of me, it looks good, the output as well. So, thank you for watching. As the icon said, Shall I do it again? As the icon said over here, like, subscribe, click the bell so you get notified. And I shall speak to you again later. Thank you for watching.